Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining me. I'm Cheryl and this is Your Journey Yoga. Thanks for joining me on my channel today. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are within it, and I hope it only gets better from here on out. But today we are going to spend some time working on twists. Love twists. Great for digestion, great for elimination, great to let go of negative energy within you and just clear it away from around you. Love twists a ton. So one thing I want you to be really mindful of is that length in your spine before twisting. So we really want to put some space between each of those vertebrae before we start to twist, either direction. So be mindful of that as we progress through. So if we are in down dog per se, and we want to add a little twist, we're reaching back. I want you to really lengthen from the crown of the head to the sit bones, okay? And feel that length all the way down your spine. So sometimes it's a little bit harder if we're inverted as opposed to sitting up nice and tall or standing. So keeping that in mind, making sure you've got water handy, any kind of props that you prefer to help make your practice just be the very best that it can be. And we're going to start in a seated position, sitting up nice and tall, reaching those hands down by your sides. Feel that length in the spine, close your eyes, put a smile on your face. And as you exhale, slowly turn your chin out over that right shoulder. Just as far as the head's willing to turn. That cervical spine. A little tuck of your chin down towards that right collarbone. Just letting go of tension, guys. Those neck and shoulders can really hold a ton of tension if we let them. Don't let them. Let it go. Inhale, lift your gaze, turn back to face front, and as you exhale, slowly turn that gaze out over that left shoulder. With a little tuck of your chin down towards that left collarbone. You still feel that length in your spine? You're still sitting up nice and tall? How about that breath? Is it slow and steady? Inhale, lift your gaze, turn it back to face front, reach to the sky, and as you exhale, turn to the right. Little tap of the fingertips to the floor. Inhale, back to center, reach to the sky. Feel that length in the spine, and exhale, we rotate to the left. Little tap of the fingertips to the floor. Inhale, reach to the sky one more time, each direction, and then we're going to hold it. Exhaling and releasing, tapping the fingertips. Inhale, reach to the sky, turn back to face front, and then exhale one more time to the left. Little tap of the fingertips. Inhale, reach to the sky. This time, let's hold it. Turning to the right, left hand to the top of that left thigh or the right thigh. Sit up as tall as you can sit, and then turn and take your gaze out over that right shoulder. A gentle drop of that left shoulder down and away. So those shoulders have a tendency to kind of creep up on us. We want to get them down and away and lengthen that neck. Release any tension, a little tuck of your chin towards that right collarbone. Nothing major, just so it feels good to you. Twisting throughout that spine, guys. Noticing if there's any place in particular that you're holding a little more resistance. Let's inhale and reach to the sky. Turn back to face front. Exhale and turn to the left. Right hand to the top of that left thigh. Left hand behind us, sitting up nice and tall. Turn and take your gaze out over that back shoulder. And we gently press that right shoulder down and away. And if it feels right to you, a little tuck of your chin towards that left collarbone. Big, full, deep breaths, guys. So noticing if it feels different on one side versus the other, if you have a tendency to hold more tension on one side versus the other. Pretty typical, pretty normal, no worries. Inhale, reach to the sky, turn back to face front. Just because it feels amazing, let's hinge it forward. Releasing the hands, and just releasing the weight of the head. Getting that awesome stretch in that lower back and into those hips. Can you feel yourself just slowly melt? It's such a great feeling. Your body's just going, yes. That's really kind of what we're going for in every pose we come to, is to feel that surrender into the pose. This one is kind of like the ultimate surrender, where you can just totally feel yourself just sink. Inhale, circle the hands back by your hips. Big circle of those arms overhead as you hinge up nice and tall. Exhale and release your hands down by your sides. Let's come forward and up onto all fours. To tabletop. Hands are shoulder width apart. Core is nice and strong. We're going to tuck our toes and we're going to lift our knees just an inch off the mat. Breathe. So we're adding a little rotation here. We're going to add a little strength challenge. So if you are taking special care of your shoulders, guys, you're going to definitely come down onto your hip, and I'll show you both variations. So we're going to rotate. We're going to sweep that left foot through. Right hand is going to touch your shoulder, and you're going to actually sit down onto your bum. And then you're going to pull it back up and come back to that hovering tabletop. Again, we sweep that right foot through, coming down onto your hip or to your bum. And then we come back to that hovering tabletop. Now, if you don't need to sit down, keep your bottom hovering, leg hovering. You can place that foot on the mat or hover the entire leg. Let's do that one more time on each side, either placing the bottom down or keeping it hovering. Rotating and twisting and coming back to that hovering tabletop. Hold here. Find your breath. As you exhale, extend those legs. Shift your weight back towards your heels. And just check in. You can take a step back if you like, if you want a little bit more of the traditional down dog position. If you like that narrower position with the hands a little closer and the feet a little closer, that's fine. And just gently sway hips side to side. Just letting go of tension in that lower back and through those hips. Nice little stretch down the IT bands, into those ankles. Coming back to center. Let's take the gaze between your hands, walk your feet in to forward fold. And relax the weight of the upper body down. Soft bend in those knees. We don't want to lock out those knees. And if you're having pressure behind those knees, bend them a little bit more, just a little bit. Find your breath. Now let's bend those knees as much as you need to find your hands to the mat. And we're going to place that right palm, pressing it firmly into the mat, rotating the body and extending left arm to the sky. Reach it up just as high as you can reach. Lengthening, we're working to stack those shoulders and to stack those arms. Find your breath. Circling that left arm around behind your back, forearm along the small of the back, and wrap that hand around the back of the outside of your hip or your back, and use that leverage to pull that left shoulder back just a little bit more. Find your breath. Once again, extending left arm to the sky, release it down. Left hand takes the place of the right, and we rotate the body, extending right arm to the sky. Reach it up. Lengthen and lift out of that left shoulder. Now those knees might be bent a little or a lot. That's absolutely fine. I want you to focus on that upper body and that rotation. Reaching and lengthening out of that right shoulder. Amazing sensation in that upper and middle back. Using the strength in that upper and middle back. So not only are we working, but we're getting that flexibility in the spine. Amazing. Circle that right arm around behind your back, wrapping the back of the hand around the back of the body, and just using that hand to kind of pull and create that leverage so that we can open up that right shoulder even more. Breathe. Extending right arm to the sky and slowly release it down, hanging in forward fold. Inhale up to monkey half lift. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. And exhale, pull the hands to heart center. Inhale, reach to the sky. And exhale, swan dive to forward fold. Inhale up to monkey half lift. Exhale down, walk, step or hop to high plank. Toes or knees, let's crocodile down. Press it through up dog. And exhale to down dog. We shift our weight to our left foot, right toes to the sky. Exhaling and sweeping that right foot through. Back knee on the mat or off. We circle those arms overhead, coming up to our crescent lunge. Shoulders are soft. Finding that breath. Inhale, reach to the sky, and as you exhale, rotate to the right. Open those arms out to a T. And inhale it back to center. We're going to do that same direction. Open to the right. Open those arms out to a T. Inhale, reach to the sky. Turn back to center. One more time. Exhale, open. Reach. Spread your fingers. How far can you reach in both directions? Pull those hands to heart center. Bring that left elbow to the right knee and press against the knee. Working to bring those hands towards heart center, gazing up over that right elbow. Find your breath. We turn back to face front. Extend the arms overhead. Big circle of those arms to the back. Release your hands on either side of your foot. Lift your hips, sweep it back. Extend right leg to the sky. And gently release it down to down dog. Holding your down dog or inhaling to high plank. Crocodile down. Press it through up dog. And exhale to down dog. And we shift our weight to our right foot, left toes to the sky. Exhaling and sweeping that left foot through. Back knee down if you like, otherwise knee off. We circle those arms back and overhead. Relaxing the shoulders. Breathe. Inhale, reach to the sky, and as you exhale, rotate to the left. Open those arms out to a T. Inhale it back to center, facing front. Same direction, open. Exhale, rotate to the left. Arms open out to a T. Inhale, reach to the sky. One more time, same direction. Exhale, open it up. Spread your fingers and reach. We pull those hands to heart center. Right elbow to the left knee. Now press against that knee and rotate, working to bring the center of your chest to your hands. Gazing up over that left elbow. Slow, steady breaths. And we turn it back to face front. Extend the arms overhead. Circle the arms to the back. Release your hands on either side of your foot. Lift your hips, sweep it back, and extend left leg to the sky. And gently release it down. Once again, holding your down dog or inhale it to high plank. Crocodile down. Press it through up dog. And exhale to down dog. Find that breath. And let's gently sway the hips side to side. Big, full, deep breaths, guys. And we come back to center. Taking the gaze between your hands, walk, step, or hop to forward fold. Inhale up to monkey half lift. Exhale down. Inhale, reverse swan dive up. And exhale. Let's open those legs nice and wide. Arms open out to a T. So we come to our wingspans. Breathe. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, begin to hinge it forward. We're going to come halfway over. And we're going to release that left hand to the mat. Rotating the body and extending. Right arm to the sky. Reaching up as high as you can reach. Allowing those hips to shift. So that right hip is going to lift a little bit. Left hip is kind of pressing down. We feel this amazing stretch through the inner thigh of that left leg. Reaching up out of that right shoulder through the tips of the fingers. Gazing up to find the base of that right thumb. If it feels right to you, let that right arm open out to the side. Rotating a little deeper. Noticing how that influences the stretch even through that inner thigh of that left leg. Inhale, lift that right arm back to the sky and slowly release it down. Right hand takes the place of the left. We rotate and reach left arm to the sky, allowing those hips to shift once again. Feeling that beautiful stretch to the inner thigh, that right leg, that length as we lift out of that right shoulder. Breathe. A little gaze up to find the base of the thumb. Again, getting that rotation through that cervical spine. If it feels right to you, deepening that stretch. Oh, yes. All the way through that thoracic spine. Allowing that left arm to open out to the side. Strong through that core. Support with that right hand. Noticing that beautiful stretch. We inhale it back up. And exhale, slowly release it down. And let's just let that upper body hang. Bending the elbows, relaxing the weight of the head. Let's shift our weight to our heels and turn our toes inward, getting a nice stretch through that outer ankle, up through the outsides of the calves, the thighs. Great stretch for those glutes. And just breathe. And let's bring our weight to the balls of the feet and pull those heels back in. So we've shortened our stance just a bit. Bringing the hands around behind your back, interlace your fingers. If you have a strap and you happen to have tighter shoulders, grab your strap, belt, towel, dog leash, whatever it is. Roll those shoulders up and back, and let's let those arms just gently hang. A little tuck of your chin towards your chest. Inevitably, we start to kind of look forward. We want to make sure there's no tension going on in that neck, so just that little tuck of the chin towards the chest. And slowly we bring those hands to the small of the back, either rolling up if you're taking care of your lower back, or lengthening and hinging up if you're strengthening your back. So make sure your back is happy and healthy, feeling strong, guys. If it needs a little TLC, use that roll up. And as you exhale, arch it back, reach your knuckles towards the ground, gaze to the sky, open that chest. And inhale it back up nice and tall. Release your hands. Let's turn those toes and step back to the top of the mat to mountain. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale, swan dive to forward fold. Inhaling up to monkey half lift. Exhale down, walk, step, or hop to high plank. Toes or knees, crocodile down. Press it through, up dog. And sit it back to child's pose. Find your breath. Quiet it down. And take as much time here as you need. As you're ready, walk your hands up to tabletop. Hands directly below those shoulders, core nice and strong. Shift your weight to your right hand, left arm extends to the sky. And as you exhale, sweep that left hand through, shoulder to the mat, side of the head to the mat, just above your ear. Rotate your body and extend. Right arm to the sky, reach it up. High as you can reach. Now your gaze can just be right along the floor, or you can look up to find the base of that right thumb. Breathe just a little more rotation through that spine, but just be mindful what feels good to you. We want to challenge ourselves, but we want to be respectful and honor where we are in our practice. Always, always. As you exhale, release that right hand down. Press it back up to tabletop. And we shift, shifting our weight to our left hand. Right arm reaches to the sky. Reach up as high as you can reach. And then exhale, sweep that right hand through. Shoulder to the mat, side of the head to the mat, just above your ear. Rotate and reach. So again, checking in on the neck. Where do we need to gaze for that neck to be happy? To feel that good stretch, but to be in a good place where we can breathe. And the body is not fighting us. Finding that edge, finding that place where we can surrender into this pose and feel all of the amazing benefits. So sometimes surrendering doesn't necessarily mean just melting into it like we do in our yin classes. Sometimes it's surrendering and realizing the extension and getting lost in that space. That's a cool feeling. And as you exhale, slowly release that left hand down, pressing it back up to tabletop. And let's sit it back to child's pose once again. Nice big deep breaths. And we extend those arms out nice and long. We're going to inhale it up to a modified high plank. So knees remain on the mat, shoulders right over those fingertips, and we're going to pull that right knee through between the hands to pigeon pose. So if we need to come over onto that right hip and pull that left foot in to create a letter Z-ish, adjust however you need to. Take the pressure off of that right knee. Feels good to you to have that left leg long behind us? Perfect. If your lower back is not a big fan of pigeon, I want you to slowly bring those hands forward to take some of that arch out of your back. Breathe. So yep, we're working on twists today, but why not incorporate some of those and just get a really good stretch? And there is nothing quite like a good pigeon. So great for the hips, great for those hip flexors. Strong through that core. So we're going to add that rotation, extending left arm out, circle it around, and we twist, drawing that back arm and that back foot in, taking a hold of that back foot if you can find it. Draw your heel in towards your bottom. Yeah, now we get the front of that left leg, those quadriceps, those hip flexors. Now notice if you all of a sudden have some intensity in your glutes, you've really engaged that glute. See if you can let it go. Those glutes kick in to guard to make sure that we're not going to go too deep. And if you like, pull that foot in to the crook of the elbow. Spin your fingertips towards the sky. If that's not great for you, stay where you are. Extending right arm out. We follow with our gaze as we lift that right hand to the sky and reach behind to our mermaid or king pigeon pose. Find that breath. Quiet it down, be present right here. And then gently release. And let's slowly walk those hands forward. We're going to extend that left arm out, reaching that right hand underneath the left. If you do not want to incorporate that thread the needle, just extend those out nice and long, guys, and just surrender down into sleeping pigeon. Sleeping pigeon is always an amazing place to be. Threading the needle, if it's the right place for you today, can be pretty amazing as well. If your body is asking for a little love, guys, a little reprieve, listen to it. No judgments, no criticisms. We are just on a journey to explore and to create the best version of ourselves we can. So no negative thoughts, no negative energy. Just being present, being kind. Let's slowly release it and come back to sleeping pigeon. So we'll meet you there if that's where you've been. Thanks for waiting. Find your breath. And let's slowly walk those hands back up. One hand on either side of your knee. We're going to tuck the toes and we're going to lift just enough to release the leg and come back to our modified plank. Breathe, crocodile down. Press it through up dog. And sit it back to child's pose. Just a good breath in and out. And then we're going to come right back to that modified plank. On your next inhale, modified plank. Knees are down. Lengthening through the crown of the head. And we draw that left knee through between the hands. Pulling that foot to the inside just slightly. Breathe. And again, we're checking in. That lower back. Our hips, our knees, our ankles. If you need to adjust and pull that back leg in, make it happen. We can do everything from there. Otherwise, that right leg is extended behind. Do we need to come forward and get some of that arch out of the back? If you do, make it happen. If it feels okay to you, stay up. Breathe and just notice how this side feels in comparison to the other side. Hopefully, even better. Adding that twist. reaching that right arm out, circling it around, and let's draw that back foot in. Take a hold of that foot if you can find it. And we're gonna slowly pull that heel in. Slowly, because this can be pretty intense, you guys. Yeah, hip flexors, quadriceps. Hello. Breathe. Feels right to you? Pull that foot into the crook of the elbow. Spin your fingertips up towards the sky. Now you can choose to stay here or extend that left arm out, lift it high, back, and take your gaze to the sky. Such a pretty pose. Great stretch for the chest, the shoulders, those legs, those hips. We're getting it all, guys. But make sure your body's happy. And gently release. Circling that right arm back up and over, and let's walk the hands forward. Again, you can walk it out to sleeping pigeon, or you're welcome to extend that right arm out, left hand reaching underneath that right arm, and we're just going to walk that left hand out so that we can slowly release the weight of the head down. Just breathe. Now we let that body melt, right? So before it was one of those where we were reaching, extending and finding space. Now here we are letting that body just melt towards the earth. Letting go of resistance. Finding those smooth, deep breaths. And we inhale, lifting just enough to pull that left arm back through. Either extending those arms or stacking your hands, just release into sleeping pigeon. So again, if you were hanging in sleeping pigeon, thanks for waiting. Find that breath. Just good deep breaths. And let's slowly walk those hands back up. One hand on either side of the knee. We're going to tuck the back toes, lift that back leg, and sweep it back to our modified plank. Untuck those toes, crocodile down. Press it through up dog. And sit it back to child's pose. Just a good breath in and out here. And let's walk those hands back up. Allergies, you guys, have been crazy for me, so my apologies about my voice occasionally. Sliding on down to the top of your mat, extending the legs out nice and long, flex your feet, reach to the sky, and as you exhale, the back of your left hand pressing against the outside of your right foot, rotate your body and extend that right arm in a diagonal line, pressing against the outside of your foot, really working to open your chest and to lengthen through those right fingertips. Again, your gaze can be straight ahead to the side, or we can look back. So incorporating as much of a twist as you want, all the way through that spine. Exhale, slowly bring that back hand forward, bring your palms to touch. Inhale, one hand on either side of your feet. Sit up nice and tall. Exhale, back of the right hand against the outside of your left foot. Rotate your body and extend. Left arm in that diagonal line, reaching out, lengthening. And breathe. Opening that chest. Feeling the strength, feeling that release of tension in the back. As you exhale, slowly bring that back hand forward. Palms touch. Inhale, reach it out. Sit up nice and tall. Lower those arms, soften your feet, and slowly roll it back. Now, if you're taking care of your lower back, you can actually bring your knee with you for support and just roll it on back. We draw that right knee in, right arm extends out to a T, left hand to the outside of the right knee, and gently pull your leg across your body, keeping both shoulders on the mat. And turn and take your gaze out over that right arm. Close your eyes. Find that breath. So nothing super intense today, guys, with our twisting. Just learning to take care and learning what feels good and what maybe doesn't. Okay, so on those days that things don't feel fantastic, Don't judge, don't criticize. It's just whatever's happening, whatever's going on with you today. That does not mean it's permanent. And you might surprise yourself, even if you just step back on your mat an hour from now. That's one of the beautiful things about your yoga practice, is when you're present in that moment is fleeting, right? Those moments drift away so quickly. So your practice is constantly changing, slowly rolling it back to center. Extending right leg to the sky, point your toes, lengthen that leg, and slowly lower your leg down. And allow it to come to rest. Left knee comes in. Left arm extends out to a T, right hand to the outside of the left knee, and just gently pull your leg across. Keeping both shoulders on the mat. Turn and take your gaze out over that left arm. Find your breath, guys. Let that rotation clear away negative energy. Healthy, happy digestive system. If ever you're feeling out of sorts, annoyed, anxious, worried, if you give yourself just a few moments and come to this pose, it is seriously incredible how it wrings out the negativity. Open your mind to it and allow it to happen. It's pretty amazing. Releasing that right hand, slowly rolling back to center. Extending left leg to the sky, point your toes, lengthen your leg, little external rotation through that hip, and ever so slowly lowering your leg down. And allow it to come to rest. Find your breath. Bring the hands down by your sides, open your palms to the sky. You're welcome to stitch your hands on your tummy. Now, if you are more comfortable on your side, or perhaps up in a seated position, we're going to find a comfortable place where your body can relax, where your mind can be quiet, your hands can rest comfortably. We give ourselves permission to just be. A sense of peace, well-being. We feel safe, calm, and comfortable. We take a moment with a sense of gratitude, thanking the mind and the body for allowing us to take this journey today. Feeling healthy and strong, having faith in our body to do its best. We will feed it with good nutrients, with positive energy, with movement and full big breaths, doing our part to keep it healthy and strong. Let your mind be quiet and let your breath just flow for just a few more moments. And as you're ready, gently wiggling your fingers and your toes, stretching your limbs, finding a safe way to come back up to a seated position as you're ready. Take your time. As we find that seated position, rest your hands comfortably, close your eyes, big deep breaths. With those eyes closed, pull the hands to heart center. Gently open your eyes. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully that felt great. Hopefully you're going to have an amazing rest of your day. Be well, take care, and until the next time, namaste.